Hey, what's going on, nation? Today I'm going to share with you guys two things that you can do to help improve your squat depth. And squat depth is important for a few different reasons, or I should say improving your squat depth is important for a few different reasons. Number one, the lower you're able to go, the more you're going to be recruiting glutes and hamstrings into your exercises. And that's a big deal for a lot of people. A lot of people when they squat, if they're stopping halfway like this and then going back up, granted if you're powerlifting and you're doing competition rules, you only have to break parallel, but you're basically missing out on extra work you could be doing activating your glutes and hamstrings. If you're going to be squatting and you're going to be trying to lift a lot of weight, why not take advantage of that and get some glute and hamstring work as well. For you guys that watch my videos, even when I'm squatting 315 or more, I'm going ass to grass all the way down and all the way up. But I'm sure a lot of you guys watching this video right now, you can't just stand up straight and do this and keep your chest up and then go back to the top. Why? Because you're tight in your hips. And there's two specific things that I had to do in order to get my squat depth that low. And I'm going to share that with you guys right now. So a lot of the times when you guys are squatting, you're actually losing a lot of power because of this tightness in your hips. Because what happens is when you have the barbell on your back, instead of keeping your chest up and going all the way down and then keeping your body underneath the barbell and pushing through your feet and activating, your glutes, quads, and hamstrings as much as possible, what happens is as you start to go down, you start to kind of bend over forward like this. And that's a combination of your shoulders being tight, but for most people it's because their hips are so tight that they can't really get that low, so it forces them forward as opposed to sitting. So instead of being like this, you're stuck like that, and then what happens is your upper body just starts to bend in half. So in your head, you might think you're going really low, but what's happening is you're stopping right about where your hips can't really go any lower, and then to compensate, you kind of do one of these. And then you come back up like this, and then push through your feet. Squatting is supposed to be one smooth motion going down and up. But if you're doing this, you're taking a lot of power away from your feet and you're forcing it to your upper body to go from here to here like a mini good morning, and then you push to the top of the movement. So the first stretch that I want you guys to do, you can do two different ways. Number one, practice getting down. Put your feet where they would normally be when doing a squat. So my feet are about here. And then get down as low as you can. And for some of you, you might be like this because you're not that flexible. Put your hands together and start pushing your knees out like that and holding this position for like 10, 15, probably 20 seconds max. Really push your legs out. You're gonna feel that deep stretch all through here. This is very similar to a different stretch you might have done if you were a wrestler called a Buddha, which is when you go like this. But I like doing it this way more because you can actually utilize your own strength to really spread your legs and crack your nuts. I'm just kidding. Your nuts won't crack, but you will feel it throughout the groin. So push it out just like this. And another way I like to do that stretch, and actually the way I prefer doing it, is I like using a pole. And you guys have seen me do this in the past, but when you're squatting, what I want you guys to basically do is teach yourself to keep your chest upright. And if you have a sturdy pole that you can put your feet around kind of like this, again, put your feet where they would be when doing the squat, you can utilize the pole to force you to keep your body upright, and this is going to allow you to maintain your balance as well so you don't fall over. And then you can do the same thing from here. You can bring your elbows in while still holding the pole. And now from this position, I'm still pushing my knees out, but I'm bringing my chest in as well. So this is like basically the position I want to be in at the bottom of a squat. And so it might take some time to get used to this, but this stretch really helped me out to go ass to grass on my squats. And another thing that I like to do, and you have to obviously do this with light weight, guys, is I'll take a barbell, and for me, I was basically putting like 135 pounds on the bar, so just a 45 on each side. And what I would do is I would unrack it, and then I would just get into my position, and I would just go as low as I could and really try to just sit in that bottom position. So I would sit here for like maybe up to 10 seconds max, and then hopefully would still have the strength to go back to the top and kind of shake things out, and then I would go back down like this. And then obviously if you've never done this before, you guys can easily just go over to the rack and set up the rig so that if you get stuck at the bottom, you know, the rig can catch you. So, for example, if I was doing this in a gym, I would just put the safety arms on the rack itself, and if I got stuck at the bottom, I would just let the barbell rest on those, and then I would just pick myself back up. And by doing these two different types of stretches, you're gonna really force yourself to kind of figure out how to get into that bottom position, because everyone's different. You might have your feet closer than me, you might have them wider than me, but as soon as you find that sweet spot and you get down and you stay in there and you focus on stretching out, that's really gonna help you get your squats to the next level, to go ass to grass and start getting a lot more glute and hamstring activation, which means more gains, obviously. So I hope you guys enjoy tips like this. If you do, please show that love and hit that like button. The more likes, the better. Obviously, subscribe if you haven't already. And I do have a more in-depth video on different exercises and different stretches you can do to help improve your squat form. And I'll post a link to that down in the info section below. And then you guys are probably wondering the whole video why I'm doing this in jeans. And it's because this is actually one of the sponsors for my 12-week challenge, and I just want to show you how flexible these things are. It's called Barbell Apparel. I actually had to buy more because I keep wearing the same jeans all the time, and I had to get some more. So I just got a new color. And I actually have a link to these guys down in the info section below too, where you guys can get a discount, but they come in a really cool package just like this, and they're basically stretch fit jeans that look nice. As you guys can see, they're not too big, not too small, not too tight, and you can squat in them, which definitely makes it a lot more comfortable when you're doing daily activities and when you actually have big glutes and quads. So I just got another pair. You guys can see they come in all different shapes and colors, and they make them for women too. Erica loves hers. So Barbell Apparel, make sure you check them out. Make sure you get those squats ass to grass. And as always, guys, more good stuff coming soon. See ya.